in any respect, so he gets introduced to PPLSI and Legal Shield in Hawaii. But when he got introduced to PPLSI and Legal Shield in Hawaii, there was nobody doing Legal Shield in Hawaii. The market was wide open, right? There was no Legal Shield presence. There was no social evidence. There was no nothing. It was just this big, huge guy who didn't speak English very well by himself in Hawaii, talking to Kevin Mack here in the Maryland area, coaching him on how to do PPLSI and Legal Shield, like via conference call, right? So fortunately, Cato was willing to invest in himself. And I want you to pay close attention to what I'm sharing here. Despite the fact he had made no money with the company, despite the fact, and I'm gonna get into that, despite the fact that he wasn't doing well, I'm gonna get into that in a moment, he made the decision to come to a couple events. One of them was one of the conferences. And he saw the success stories. He saw people all different shapes, backgrounds, academically, ethnically, sex, whatever. He saw it all. And he was like, okay, I know this thing is real. But he's in Hawaii, and then he went to a couple other, what we call briefings, right? Where there was local events. So he had a chance to plug into one of the local events in the Maryland area. So he saw it on a real big, high scale level, but he also saw it on a more of a local level, right? So he goes back to Hawaii, and for 4 months, he rents a hotel with a projector. He invites people out, and nobody shows up. Nobody. It got so bad that his wife and kids stopped showing up. They made fun of him. They're like, man, you wasting your money. We are not coming no more. Like, you are crazy. You have lost your mind. You are renting this hotel room, getting this projector, and you are talking to yourself. Because that's what he did. He gave presentations every single week, despite the fact that no one showed up, as if the room was full. And from listening to the slides and the presentations, that's how he improved his English. That's how he got better at the presentation. So, charge to my head and not my heart, because it's been a while since I've talked to him and even heard his story. But this goes on for like at least 6 months. Can you imagine showing up month in and month out, week in and week out? You're spending money on a hotel. You're renting a projector. No one's showing up. And you're showing up with as much enthusiasm, with as much vigor, with as much belief as day one. Can you imagine? And your wife and kids are kind of like borderline ashamed of you. Like, why are you doing that thing, right? Go back and be a school counselor. So in any respect, I want to say 6, 7 months into it. So this is not monthly now. He's showing up every single week. Somebody shows up finally. They don't get involved. But they showed up. So he's like, okay, this can work. Then what ends up happening is the following week, somebody shows up and they get involved. Right? They show up and they get involved. So it's him and one other person showing up. Now, mind you, over the course of 6, 7 months, that means he didn't make a dime. One person showing up means he only earned maybe $60, $70 after 6, 7 months of doing this. But the person that onboarded with him saw the fact and learned about how he showed up month in and month out, committed month in and month out. And this new person never went to a convention. This new person, because they're in Hawaii, there's no one doing it. And we don't have the technology we have today. But he saw Katoa's commitment. Is commitment. And what is commitment? Commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the excitement and enthusiasm of the moment is gone.
Yep.
That's what commitment really is. Some people commit to things when it's convenient, when it's feeding them or edifying them somehow, when things are kind of going their way, when they're able to get to derive the thing that they want out of something. They're only committed to the extent that they are willing to derive a benefit in the short term. Danny Coteau was the exact opposite, right? But this guy saw that. And then the guy invited somebody else. And the guy told Coteau a story. I need you to hear me. The guy told Coteau a story because the guy didn't have a story yet. And Coteau told Kevin Mack's story. And he told Darnell Sell's story. And he told Mike Hume's story. He was telling the stories of other people who were winning. So he didn't seem like a complete crazy person, right? And his 9th month in it, because he kept inviting, showing up, because the crazy people on the island of Hawaii kept seeing him show up, they were like, man, something's got to be going on here. Like 9 months straight, you ain't making no money. But we're hearing you're continually inviting people over and over again. You got now 2 other people inviting people all over again. What's going on here, right? You got to be crazy. So I think it was his 10th or 11th month because people started to show up out of curiosity because he had a crew of like 2-3 people who were also making invitations. He had a $2,000 month. So it covered the room for the year, all the money he had paid. It covered part of the projector, right? Now he's on 10. He's like, this is the best of all time. I just earned $2,000. And success and money is relative, right? When you come from Tongo, $2,000 in business, man, you feel like that's a $30,000 come up, right? When you come to a country with only the shirt and shoes on your back, $2,000 is a lot of money. Some of us get it twisted, right? We say things like, I'll do A, B, D, C, and D when I earn the money. I'll invest in reading the book when I earn the money. I'll come to the event when I earn the money. I'll do A, B, C, and D when somebody else shows up or somebody else does A, B, C, and D. There's a book out there by Jack Canfield, Darren Hardy. They all wrote similar books. And Jeff Olson. And it talks about the compound effect. And in the book, it talks about extreme ownership. So when something goes wrong in the business, either personally or within the organization, what does extreme ownership sound like? You own it. You eat it.
No excuses.
You own it and you eat it. Now, I know it's not my fault that people didn't show up tonight. I know it's not my fault that people don't show up to events. I know it's not my fault that people don't read the book of the month. I know it's my fault that people don't do a lot of things they're supposed to do. There should be 30 people. We have recruited over 100 people in the last month or so. We're one of the fastest. Our organization, just to let you know, if you didn't know, took Michigan from the bottom of the barrel. And now we are the number 9 state in the entire company. We were rock bottom. We're number 9 now.
It's impressive.
It's highly impressive.
Yes.
So it's just like the quarterback on the team. You know, when you watch the quarterback on the team, the leader, right, the quarterback gets all the blame when people lose. Takes all the credit when people gets, I shouldn't say takes, gets all the credit when people win. Right? I know what's going on. The reason why we're the number 9 an entire company is our organization. It's our organization. We're crushing it. But I'll tell you, if people, because people see me and they see the way I show up and they think everything's hunky-dory. They think we got 30 people showing up on our core calls. They think we got like 20, 30 people showing up to our events. They think people are doing the most. They have no idea. I just be looking at them like, yeah, think what you think. Now, to me, part of me is I find it immensely entertaining. You can't tell. Because if by ourselves, with only a handful of people showing up, plugging in, doing what they're supposed to do, we can turn an entire state around. And not turn just an entire state around. We can go out there and beat down some of the biggest markets in the entire United States. What would happen if we exercised the same level of commitment that Danny Katoa did?
Number one.
Man, it'd be off the chain. We would be producing executive directors on a, if not monthly, every 2 weeks. Just like another organization I know. If you plug in the Sunday Momentum Call, you know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. Y'all looking for the secret sauce. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the secret sauce. I'm here to tell you there is no secret sauce. Successful entrepreneurs are not the special. We don't have different blood running through our veins. We don't breathe different oxygen. Most successful entrepreneurs are not especially talented or skilled or any of those things. You know what the issue is that people don't understand? Most successful entrepreneurs are broken. And if you're reading the book of the month, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why most entrepreneurs win is not because you think they're so good. It's actually they're broken people.
Trauma.
And because of what's transpired in the past, they don't have an off button. They don't have an off button, right? And I don't know what's driving them. I know what drives me. I know what drives some of you. But most of the successful entrepreneurs you're going to ever meet in life, the reason why they're winning is not because they're better than you, not because they're more talented, any of that stuff. They have something that most people don't have. The off button is broken. And when they commit, they go all in. And so while some of you are trying to figure out how to do the business, what to say, what tool to use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I'm here to tell you, I got nothing to do with that. I hear people talk about IQ. In entrepreneurship, IQ has nothing to do with your intellectual capacity. It's your I quit level. That's what IQ means in the entrepreneurship world. What is it going to take to make you quit? What is it going to take to make you stop reading the book of the month? Stop going to the events. Stop showing up to the trainings on time with your eyeballs and teeth. Because let's be real, we all know what we're supposed to do. With the exception of new people, we know what we're supposed to do. You're not doing it because you're not committed. I'll let Ms. Wells clean up the mess, but I'm going to break some eggs tonight. You are failing in your business because you have an I quit level. You have quit. And you're lying to yourself and everyone else saying you haven't. You've quit. Or you don't know what commitment is. Danny Katoa showed up for months, losing $200 to $300 a month, earning no money. Can you imagine what it's like to be a husband with children? And you're spending that kind of money in a household like his, and you're not earning a dime, and he's showing up as if he's a multimillionaire, that's what commitment means. So in any respect, his 12th month, the $2,000 goes to $4,000. The following year, the $4,000, the following month grew to $8,000. A couple months later, it grew to $12,000. And then a couple months after that, he was knocking down $16,000 a month. Couldn't speak English. Still to this day, I've had an opportunity to meet him on several occasions. His English still ain't good. I mean, his vocabulary is it's very, very, very limited. It's not like he's the type of public speaker where you look at him and say, oh, he's amazing. He's just wonderful. He's just exhilarating. That's not Danny Katoa. It's not him. But Danny Katoa, since then, has been averaging about $250,000 a year. Some years is up, some years is down, but he's been averaging about $250,000 a year. And he earns $250,000 a year because of the one word called commitment. He did not have any of the tools that you all have. He can't speak English well. When you think about an attractive persona, it ain't him. He's not going to jump up and down, and lightning bolts aren't going to come from his eyeballs and from his derriere. None of that stuff happens. He exercised extreme commitment, extreme ownership. Some of y'all, and it's all relative, right? It's relative. Feel like you're living ordinary lives. And you want the extra out of life, but you refuse to give it. The key, extra is the prefix, ordinary, right? It's the suffix. Absent the extra is just ordinary. You can't have what Danny Katoa has. You can't have what any of these individuals have until you're willing to pay the price. You're not committed. And just like with someone who's addicted to a drug, the first way to recovery is admittance. You're not going to get the things that you are seeing on that Sunday momentum call. You're not going to have the success. It does not matter how articulate you are, how intelligent you are, how gifted you are, how attractive you are. None of that stuff matters. This is entrepreneurship. This is not a social club. This is not an Instagram party, post pick, get popular. This is entrepreneurship. You can be popular as all get out and broke. i.e. Allen Iverson, right? NBA player going down as the best of all time, broke as a joke. It's some actors right now that are about to catch that ultimate L. It's some entertainers that in 20 years is going to be broke as a joke. Y'all think this is a popularity contest or something. And you think that your success cares about your excuses. It doesn't. The you that you pray for does not care about your excuses. You have to become that person. You can't get the success you see other people have until you become that person you're supposed to be. All you're doing is lying to and disappointing your future self, because you're not fooling me. I see you. Yeah, I do. I just stay quiet most of the time, because if I go in, y'all gonna start throwing stuff at me when you see me. You're gonna be mad. You're like, this hurt my feelings. He's mean. Yeah, I'm mean, but I earn more money in my sleep than people who work 78 hours a week. I can tell you what you want to hear. I can tell you what you need to hear sometimes. Tonight, I decided to tell you what you need to hear.
Thank you.
And I think your future self, 2, 3, 5 years from now, while you're hating on me today and mad at me today, I bet you your future self says thank you. I don't know which one of you needed to hear this, but I know there are some people who need to hear this because I'm listening and watching you all the time. I just don't say it. It does not matter, right? The B2B briefing, we have days where we got 7, 8, 10, 15 people show up, half of them don't register. Amazing. We have days where no one shows up. Mr. Bennett is here because of that B2B briefing. We close at a 75% tick. Let me repeat that again. 3 out of 4 people who walk into that briefing enroll within 24 to 48 hours. But it does not matter how effective you are if you're not committed. Ms. Wells is about to introduce a briefing. It's going to be smacking. Ms. Wells likes having fun. She's cool to be around. She's professional. And don't let the smooth taste fool you. She's a shark too. That briefing should be smacking. But it does not matter if you're not committed. Because you'll find excuses not to go out to Farmington Hills too. It's too far. It's inconvenient. So-and-so's happening today. The dog ate my homework. You know where I'm going with this. You all, part of the reason why Danny Katoa crushed it in Hawaii too, because he was the only game in town. The only place they could learn about Legal Shield was from who? Him. Man, y'all just don't even get it. This is going over your heads, isn't it? We are the only game in town. Go to the Legal Shield calendar and look up Detroit. The only events that are taking place in the entire Michigan is us. We are the only briefings. We are the only B2B consulting meetings. We are the only. The boot camp that's coming up, we are going to put in the room on Friday and Saturday, these people together earn over $3 million a year. And one of them got upset and was angry and stopped working the business 5, 6 years. And he's probably going to run up the bag to probably 5 million. So on Friday and Saturday, between Dazzy, Hoffman, and the Schillers, and we're still waiting on Katz, and there's one other person who I'm not mentioning that may show up. On a Friday night, we're going to have a collective of people who probably earn altogether, when the dust settles, $8 million a year. Inviting people to learn about a little $30, $60 membership. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Okay? I'm just being straightforward. There are people in our organization who are struggling to pay their rent, who are struggling to pay their utilities, who are struggling to take care of their children, who are struggling to do the things they say they want to do, and you're not going to show your behind up in front of that? That would be like Warren Buffett giving me a phone call tonight saying, Mr. Buford, I am coming into town tomorrow at 3 p.m. to teach you how I became a billionaire. Do you know I would empty the savings and checking account, pay someone to watch my children to make sure my behind was in that room? So you're going to have accumulatively on the low end, anywhere from 3 to 5 million. On the high end, people are earning 8 million together collectively, who are there to teach you what they've done. They're going to be there Friday. They're going to be there Saturday. It doesn't matter, though, if you're not committed. Because you won't show up. Or you'll show up complaining, oh, it's too long. It's from 9 until 5 p.m. Man, I would fast. If somebody had my type of success, it was willing to tell me everything, I would fast for like 2-3 days straight. I would just have my water so I would pass out and die. But trust me, I'd be okay with not eating. I'd eat a donut or something. But I'm trying to put this in perspective for you the best way I can. Trying to put it in perspective for you. That's what's going to be going on the 21st and 22nd. But you know what? I'm going to be so real with you. That's what's going to be going on every Tuesday. That's what's going to be going on every Thursday with Ms. Wells' briefing. That's what goes on in these trainings. The foundation that has made us the fastest growing organization in PPLSI and Legal Shield took Michigan from 0 to hero, top 9. It's the same, it's the same foundation. What we share on these calls and what we share at our meetings and what we share at our events are life-changing. It's life-changing. And look, I'm not trying to be sacrilegious about this, right? But just follow me here. Follow me here. If I got a phone call from a religious leader that I trusted, not some of these yahoos getting in trouble on YouTube right now. Woo, it's terrible out there. It's terrible in these streets, man. But if I got a phone call, whether I was Christian or not, and I'm Christian, whether I was Christian or not, if I got a phone call from one of my religious leaders that I look to, they said, Jesus is going to show up in your living room tonight. You better believe, whether I hate you or not, if I really believed it, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling everybody. You got to be here. You got to see it. I'm not comparing Legal Shield and PPLSI to deliverance. But what I am saying is, I live downtown Detroit. I'm surrounded by $2 million condos. I pay the equivalent of a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom Grosse Pointe residence for the rent that I pay downtown Detroit. And I'm watching people getting evicted right now. I'm watching cars get repossessed. I know what AI is getting ready to do to people. Because I don't watch the news, but I'm always watching business news. I see what's happening. I see the layoffs. I see the foreclosures getting ready to transpire this year. There's going to be have and have-nots. The middle class is dead in the United States. It's just people don't realize it yet. Man, I ordered food for the BizConnect mixer. It was some strawberries, some grapes, some apples, some bananas, some waters and juices, and it was like $70, $80. I was like, what? And some of y'all think it's going to go back. It's not. It's only going to get worse. We ain't going back. There are companies right now that are purposely paying people to go on television and say, you don't need to own a home. They only want people to rent homes. They don't want people to own. They got it to the point now where they don't even want people to own cars anymore. They want you to own nothing. They want you to show up and take whatever is given to you. That's what's coming. And most people are sheep and they're going to fall hook. Look, I believe that PPLSI is not the only game, but Danny Katoa couldn't become an investment advisor. I'm sorry. It just wasn't going to happen. Danny Katoa was not going to be a real estate agent. I'm sorry. It wasn't going to happen. Danny Katoa wasn't going to do a lot of the businesses that are out there people can do. I think PPLSI offers the everyday Joe the best opportunity to create financial independence and ownership than any other company I've seen. I believe that. You can't tell me nothing different. And for those of us who are smart, and don't turn the two-step into the salsa and want to make an impact, I think PPLSI represents the best opportunity to help families get financially independent and free. And even if they don't get the cert, even if they don't become an associate, the decisions that they'll make if they utilize the service. This membership put $40,000 in my pocket last year. Not because of it saved me, because of a conflict, because of the investments that this plan helped me make. So you could put what I'm paying a $60 plan, I'm paying for the business plan, which is like $113 or something like that. Anyway, I'm paying about $200 a month for everything that I have. So $200 a month, $2,400 a year, $40,000 return. And it can do that for all of you if you use it properly. And it can do it for anyone else that you know. It could be vehicles, it could be buying a business, it could be arbitrage buying real estate, it could be arbitrage. I just taught a client of mine today how to utilize this plan because she was getting ready to open up another daycare. I was like, you done lost your mind. You already running this. I said, buy another daycare. And I taught her how she could utilize the attorneys to help her go out and buy another daycare at a discount. Man, y'all don't know the power of what you have. Mark my words, next year I'll be the owner of a construction company. Not because I know anything about construction, but because I've been utilizing the plan, talking to the attorneys about all the steps I need to take to end up buying one of the construction companies here in Detroit Metro that I think is on the come up. You can utilize the members to do stuff like that, right? But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna end where I started, commitment. Y'all are sleeping. Even Ms. Holmes, even though you're in Jersey, I'm trying to say this because it's being recorded and I don't want this to get out. I say the wrong thing, y'all might start telling on me. But in any respect, I had two ringers call me up today and ask me for permission to come into the state. I was like, whoa, I didn't know we were crushing it like that. Like they asked for permission. One of them knocking down well over $500K per year. The other one's knocking down $250,000. And they both asked, is it okay, Mr. Buford, if we come to Detroit? I don't know what else to say to you. I don't know what else to say. Y'all acting like we selling spam. Y'all acting like we selling scented candles or something. Like juice drinks or coffee that's gonna fix cancer and clean up your teeth and make your hair smell good. Y'all clowning. You're clowning. You sleeping. And you can't show up to events. You can't show up to a training call with eyeballs and teeth. Mark my words, this time next year, because people doubted me last year when I said this. Last year I said, I'm getting that ring in less than a 6-month period of time. I'm getting it. This year, I'm gonna run up the bag to over 150K. Now, the only way I do that is by working with people who are committed and show up. I can't work with excuse makers because it ain't gonna happen. I can't work with people who, half apple everything. It can't happen. I have to work with people who are just as committed as Zion, who are just committed as Katoa, because that's the only way it happens. And if you all want to get there, you have to first be the type of person that is deserving of that type of partnership and working with people. And then you have to run up the bag with commitment. It ain't going to happen any other way. So that's all I'm doing. I'm looking at Bennett. I'm looking at all y'all. But I'm going to be transparent. I'm looking at the new blood. Because some of y'all telling on yourselves. You talking a lot, but your actions speaking so loud, I can't hear you. So I'm like, you know what? Let me find some people who do want it. Let me find some people who do want to show up, who do want to do the activity, who want to post in Slack. God sakes. People want to post in Slack. You know? People who want to, read the book of the month. This is not construction work. Y'all not lifting up 80-pound, pillars. You're inviting people to look at a tool and doing some real simple things. And I know what you expected tonight. You thought I was going to come in here and talk about how to do an exposure. And then Ms. Wells will come in and say, oh, man, my event going to be so good. Y'all need to show up. That's what you thought was going to happen. You thought I was going to go in and talk about how wonderful the boot camp's going to be and teach you how to do None of that matters if you're not committed. So tomorrow I have to give a presentation for the Midwest and the state because I told everybody I'm going to run it up to 150 before the end of the year. You better believe I'm going to do it. And they were like, oh, snap. We about to call Mr. Buford in to teach us what the hell he's doing. I'm going to have a slightly more polite conversation, but the conversation is going to be the same tomorrow, but I'm also going to be more granular. So for individuals who Performance Club qualified, the individuals who showed up to this call tonight, when I get the Zoom link tonight, I'm going to send it to you. You're going to be able to show up and you're going to listen. I'm going to be way more detailed than I am now. I'm going to be way more granular. And I'll be transparent with you. I might take the gloves off because guess what? I got to see y'all every week. I ain't got to see them. I can hurt their feelings and keep moving. They just get me mad. But I got to see y'all every week, so I got to be careful sometimes. So I'm going to press pause. I know Ms. Wells has plenty to share, particularly about the new briefing that's coming up. But I'm just being so sincere, man. I don't know how else to articulate it. And since it's being recorded, there's some things I can say, but I ain't going to say that. But we have a rare opportunity here. We have the backing of a multi-billion-dollar company. And we own the market. And to be transparent to you, if you know my thinking, I think Ms. Wells might know my thinking. I'm not just thinking about Michigan. Michigan is not big enough. Right? There's 3-4 other markets I'm taking aim at. Because you cannot convince me that we don't have the foundation and the talent and the wherewithal to do it. I love TNV. I love Shield Nation. I love TPP. I love Pinnacle. I love all these. I really respect them because I respect entrepreneurship. Marathon, you name them. Look, no matter what I'm in disagreement with some of the things that people do or not, it does not matter. I respect entrepreneurship, so I respect the game. I know how much it costs to get to where they're at. I know the price they paid. So no matter how annoyed I might get with people, I know the price, and I'll always respect that. But the flip side of that is, why not us? Why not 6 months from now? Why can't I be looking at Ms. Poe, Ms. Wells, Ms. Harris, Ms. Glass, Ms. Holmes, Ms. Johnson, Bennett, Paige, Brian, and Carl, and not every single one of y'all be ring earners or knocking out close to $1 million? Why not? They did it. And they did it with less talent. They did it with less skills. They did it with less leadership. I'm trying to drop a clue on you. They did it with less support. Ms. Holmes, you better believe I'm going to be flying down to Jersey. I'm going to cut up. It's going to be a mess. Okay? I'm going to duplicate what we did here in Michigan and Jersey. When I went on that calendar and I didn't see any events, I was like, oh, no, they shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have seen that. You have no events? Man, it's going to be a hot mess. I'm gonna pay someone to watch them kids, cover a couple of my weekends, and look, you know, Ms. Holmes, if you put one person in front of me, 3 will sign up. I'm about to come down there and cut up. If y'all are on that Legal Shield calendar and we got team and states and there are no meetings taking place, let me know immediately. I will go down there and crush it. Not via Zoom. I'm going to go down there physically and get it in. So, all right. Ms. Wells, the floor is yours.
Boy, oh boy, that was good. That was so good. Although I was vacationing, I took out my Profiles of Success book on the plane, Profiles of Success book while I was by the poolside, Profiles of Success book while I was on the beach. And the one thing I can tell you is if you're ever down, just read that book. If you ever want to get motivated, just read that book. If you ever feel like, why am I here? Just read the book. I think I'm at page 75, and I still have so many more pages to go. And I'm like, wow. But the one thing that I saw what Mr. Buford is talking about is that commitment piece. They said on all of those 75 pages that they're glad that they never quit. They stayed the course. Yes, it was hard. And when I tell you that some of the people in this organization, in this company, they have been through hell. I can't believe the amount of hell that they have gone through and still stuck and stayed. And now they're reaping the benefits of having lifelong membership pay for their lifestyle when they were in situations like cancer again, husband dying, children dying. I mean, and they stayed in this business, and this business took care of them, took care of their family. And I was just amazed at the stories. Like, it motivated me so much. I had to say to myself, why am I here? Like, are you kidding me? Like he said, we have $1 billion organization backing us. And I'm like, what am I doing with this? I said, you know what? I have to change my mindset. I have to change how I look at this business, because this is the business that's going to pay for my retirement. This is my why. I know it's going to pay for my retirement. No other business can compare, really, literally, to this type of business that we have. And so I had to really forgive myself for not really putting in the work that I know that I can do, because of all of the hindrances that come your way, the way you feel, how you think, and all those type of things. Just, you try to rationalize things, but everything is already done for us. We just have to, like Mr. Buford said, have that commitment, because people that are successful, there's nothing that can stop them. There's nothing that can get in their way. They're going to keep pushing forward. They're going to do what it takes. They're not going to quit. I mean, all these high standard things, which is just regular, like, it's internal things. Even though it's high level, the high level is the consistency. That's what make it high level, because most of us don't know how to be that consistent. So I had to, really kind of reevaluate where I wanted my Legal Shield business to be in my life, and how much time and effort I wanted to put into it. And that's why we decided that, hey, we need another briefing. Tuesdays, Mr. Buford have the business mixer, and he's building that. Tuesdays is not a day that I could actually be involved because of ministry work. So we said, hey, do a day that works. So what works for me is the Thursday. So we're going to have a Thursday briefing, a live opportunity meeting on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m. in Farmington Hills. It's going to be at the Hawk Community Center. And so we do need the support of our organization. You know, we do need the support. This is a team effort. Everybody wants to grow. We're in this business to grow and make money and create a residual income for ourselves. So this is another opportunity for us to do that. So we are putting together to get all of us. We have our Tuesday. You can plug into that. Now we're going to, on June 13th, we're going to have our live briefing on at 5:45 on Thursday. That's going to be next week. It's going to be at the Hawk, Farmington Hills Community Center, 12 Mile Lane, Middle Belt. That's not far at all. 12 Mile Lane, Middle Belt is not far, right? I mean, we got whatever. If we had a doctor's appointment that we had to get to and it was in West Bloomfield or it was downriver and they told us we had to go to that specialist, we're going to go. So this is no different. It's just like Mr. Buford said, how committed are we to making it happen? What are we going to do to put ourselves in position? Yes, thank you, Maya, for doing that. I encourage everybody, it's going to be $10 for associates. Your guests are free. We do have costs. You know, we need small refreshments to cover, you know, some drinks and some fruit or whatever we're gonna get.
Ms. Wells, let's
Yeah.
press pause for a moment. No,
Yes.
that's not a cost. It's called an investment.
An investment, yes. You know, yes, it's an investment. That's true.
Yep.
It is an investment. The room is an investment, and we have enough that we can fill up this place. We have enough space for like 50 people, maybe even 60. We have a person that's on our team that is a DJ. His voice is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, so I like to do stuff fun. I like to have fun and do business. So he may be coming out doing some, you know, introductions with his voice. You know, it's just going to be amazing. So mark your calendars, sign up on Eventbrite. We have it on our Team New Horizons. I have to put it on the Facebook page. It's on our Team New Horizons Eventbrite page as well. So if you guys have any questions, give me a call. If you want to be committed, please reach out to me because we do need everyone in position. And I'll let you know what those positions are once those are going, you know, those who are going to commit to helping out on Thursdays, that'll be great. Also, let's not forget our boot camp. Our last boot camp was the bomb. I ain't gonna even lie. It was the bomb. We learned stuff that we didn't know, how the business work, and it was amazing. So for us to, and it was just us, you know, within our organization. Now we have expanded it out. I mean, we had some ring earners come in via Zoom, but now we're talking about having ring earners in person as well. So I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have my notepad. I'm gonna have my pen. I'm gonna be taking notes because it's nothing like being in an environment of those that have already paved the path for us and pulling the information from us and applying it to our lives and making it happen. There's nothing like it. I don't know where you can go and pay. I don't know what it was, $20, $30, well, however much it was, and get the amount of knowledge that we're going to get in business and in our profession and in our professional and personal lives to help us to develop and become great. So I'm excited about it. So if you haven't registered, please register. We need to kind of, is June the 20th, is it 21st and 22nd?
Yes, 21st and 22nd.
June 21st, yeah, June 21st and June 22nd. 2 days, carve it out, make it happen, and let's come together and get this knowledge from these millionaires so that they can show us what we need to do to position ourselves, and we can grow our business. So that's all I have for you.
So the one thing I would encourage people to do, because for me, when we went to convention, I thought it was interesting. You know how I do it, right? I approach all the ring earners and I ask them, like, what you trying to get out of this? What you trying to do? Because I'm trying to get everything, right? I'm getting all the information, all the goodies I get. And I'm gonna give you a huge clue. You don't want to go to the boot camp. You want to build through the boot camp.
That's right.
You don't want to go to the boot camp. You want to build through it. So how do you build through it? You make sure you have 3, 5 people with you. Whether they're partners that you haven't chatted with in a minute, a year, 2, 3 years. And for me personally, you already know my mindset. I'm looking for new blood, new people that I'm onboarding and working with to come to the boot camp. So I'm not just gonna show up, I'm gonna show up with 5 new people that haven't been to an event before. That's how you build through it. Yeah, it's great that you get the info, but what you want to do is you want to bring your partners to it so they will catch the fire too, understand what's going on. And look, talk about social evidence. Can you imagine putting a guest in a room and they walking up to people who are having $10,000 days in the business, $50,000 months in the business? Can you imagine? I mean, what kind of social evidence? Let somebody come out of the room talking about they think it ain't real. Okay. Right? Okay. Build through it. That's the last thing I'll give, and then we'll wrap up there. Ms. Holmes, I meant what I said, though. I'm coming. Like, when I saw that calendar, I was like, what? Man, they shouldn't have let me see that. I'm about to be down there in Jersey. I was supposed to be headed down to Minneapolis for a little vacation. I had to tell the other, the significant other, I was like, nah, we going to Jersey. It's like, Jersey? Yeah, Jersey, we going. Okay. We about to make that happen. So coming on a plane happening soon. But that being said, everyone, I celebrate success in advance. If you can't tell, I know how rare this is. I've been in business for 20 years. I cannot tell you how rare it is, what it means when you can dominate an entire market with the type of resources we have on our backs. There's nobody else doing what we do in the state of Michigan. Nobody. In order for them to learn about what we do, they have to come to see us. I cannot tell you how there's no reason why we shouldn't be producing. That's how millionaires are made. Man, don't let me start going in because I'll get started and y'all be mad at me. But I'm telling you, that's how millionaires are made. They come into a market. There's no competitors. There's no one doing what they're doing. It's like if it was nothing but dirty water around us, and then all of a sudden we showed up with clean water, and the only place where people get the clean water is from us. Man, you don't have to be smart, intelligent, or even hardworking. Just be consistent and committed, and you will become wealthy. That's what we have here. I don't think y'all get it. That's what we have here. And it ain't gonna last forever. I gotta do the training tomorrow. They're gonna get some of the nuggets. You don't think they're not gonna show up to that boot camp? You don't think? We're gonna have competitors real soon. It's other people who are gonna learn how and what we are doing. These are being recorded. Don't think for a minute people are not listening to it to figure out what the hell we're doing. PPLSI has an uplifting service agreement. They ain't had an uplifting service agreement for 50 years. We introduced an uplifting service agreement, now all of a sudden PPLSI has one. I've been talking about B2B being the future of this company for 16 years. And now what do you hear everywhere? B2B. B2B. That's all they talking about. That's all we're on money's for. B2B. I've been doing B2B trainings for 10 years. And now I go online and I see the content I was using 10 years ago being used by ring earners in their B2B training. We're not gonna have a monopoly in this marketplace much longer. Y'all better take advantage of it and act like you know what's up. because the only place they can get it is from us right now. You got some stragglers, but we're the only ones that are organized and really getting it in. And the same thing's gonna happen in Miss Holmes' neighborhood. I'm coming. So, man, if y'all can't get on 10 about that, it's okay. I mean, it's not, but it's okay. It's gonna be okay. When y'all looking at, y'all looking at some people walking across the stage. I know Ms. Wells got it. I can see the look in her face. She figured, she knows what it is now. Yeah, man, y'all better act like you know better. All right, everyone have a fantastic evening. Celebrate success in advance. I gotta get ready for this RVP meeting. Goodbye for now.
Good night, everyone.
Night. Good
Bye,
night.
night.
everybody.